Hey everybody, Jake here from Bearded Gear, and I need to respond to a tag. So I've been tagged now by a couple of people. The ones that I've specifically seen who, deliberately called me out on this video have been Metal Complex and then Knife Modders, Lindy, over there. And I'd been meaning to get to this video. I'd seen it as kind of an open tag from a number of people. I know Lefty, EDC did it, D2M Knives and Gear has done it, I think Chris Grady's Gear has done it. It started with Pete from Cedric and Ada. Basically, the premise of this kind of open tag video is 5 knives that bring you joy. So I've been stewing it over a little bit for a couple of days and trying to think about what knives in my collection bring me the most joy. I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I keep changing my answers. So I'm just going to go with 5 knives that bring me joy. I don't know. I could slice it up a bunch of different ways, but this is the way we're going to go about it. So without further ado, let's just kind of go through one by one the 5 knives I picked and why. Not necessarily in any particular order. I think it's also fair to say that most knives bring me joy. This is my hobby, and so I buy knives and carry knives because I like them, and they do make me happy. Whether that's like a deep internal lasting happiness or whether it's momentary sometimes, I don't know. It's not like knives are the most important thing in the world. Sometimes I start to act like it, and I have to check myself because knives are, at the end of the day, not that big of a deal compared to things that actually matter. But they are capable of bringing me joy, and so I've just picked some that I feel bring me the most joy. So first, the Spyderco Bombshell, aka the Danger Pickle. Now, I've talked about this knife a lot over the course of the time that I've had the channel, both in my review process and talking about it in my Top Knives of 2020 video, and I've brought this knife up a lot because it's so much freaking fun for me. When I got this knife, I nicknamed it the Danger Pickle. That caught on, and it became a whole thing. Now that's what most people call this knife. Even Michael Birch from Birch Tree Blades, who's the designer of this knife, refers to it as the Danger Pickle. He made me a custom bottle opener that says Danger Pickle Gang on it, and it's like this fun element of the community that's wrapped into this knife for me, and I just love it. I also just really enjoy this knife. Every time that I make the decision to put this knife in my pocket and it's on me and I'm playing with it or I'm pulling it out to use it for something, it brings me joy. I like this knife. It's quirky, it's different, it's chunky, it's shaped and colored like a pickle. I mean, it's just fun for me. So absolutely, this knife brings me joy. And I think that's going to kind of be a theme here. If it's something that when I put it in my pocket, I just find myself smiling more than I do with other knives. It would be easy to make this a what are my favorite knives video, and I do that from time to time, like a top video, things like that. But I don't want to, I'm not going to do that right now. This is just things that make me smile. So there will be some knives that I love and adore, and people are going to be in the comments like, why didn't you pick this? Why didn't you pick that? I can assure you, if I own it, it's stuck around for more than a couple of weeks, it's a knife that I love. Doesn't necessarily mean that it brings me the most joy when I carry it because it's quirky or whatever. So let's just keep moving on. Danger Pickle was the first one on the list. Next, the Demco AD20. I have the AD20, and I have both current variations of the 20.5, and they're super fun, but the AD20, the just behemoth beast of a blade that it is, brings me joy. Every time I carry it, every time I play with it, it makes sounds like it's a firearm, and it kind of smells gun-like for some reason. It has multiple deployment methods with the studs and the hole. It has the shark lock, and it's just different and big for, not for no reason, but it's oversized, and it's It's tank-like, and it's just fun. It's just a lot of fun. Usually, this is kind of like my adventure knife. Like if I'm going on an intense hike and I'm going light so I don't have a fixed blade on me or whatever, this is the folder that will be in my pocket. Oftentimes, it's the folder in my pocket even when I also have a fixed blade with me, just because it's so freaking fun. So, Demco AD20. This particular one is in gray G10 and CPM 3V blade steel. And I adore it. I love, love, love the AD20. Next, another Spyderco. This is the River's Edge Cutlery exclusive PM2, the avocado PM2, if you will. And it has the FDE PVD coated 204P blade. That's a lot of letters and numbers, isn't it? OD green scales, black hardware. It's just so freaking sweet. I love this PM2. I have several PM2s. I have the other River's Edge Cutlery exclusive, the one in 10V. I have the Warncliffe one, and I've had a bunch more. I guess those are the only 3 I have at the moment. But something about this colorway, the PM2 in general is one of my favorite knives to use and carry. And it's a great steel. It's a great setup. It's not even like, gun to my head, if I could only keep one PM2 forever, it would be the 10V one, because it's the better blade steel in my opinion. But this, because of the colorway and just the way it excites me, I just love it. So River's Edge Cutlery exclusive PM2, which eventually there will be more of, by the way. So yeah, that one's definitely on the list. Just makes me happy. And next we have the Microtech Scarab 2 Shadow. It is the full DLC version, and honestly, I'm gonna sell this knife. I've already listed it for sale once or twice, just like put up in my stories, and it didn't move, so I still have it. I need to shoot my full review on it. It's not a perfect knife, especially for me, but it's just, there's something about an OTF that elicits an emotional response compared to other knives. It's cool, it's fun, it sparks joy to be Marie Kondo about it, to just play with one. They're too much fun. And this, in my opinion, is kind of the ultimate tactical, just ultimate expression of what an OTF can be. At least under the Microtech umbrella, which is where I've mostly experienced OTFs. So being full DLC, being gigantic, being a hard-firing double action auto, it's cool, it's fun, and I enjoy it. All right, now the last one that I picked, a lot of people are going to be like, what, it's not the Arius? Like, the Arius is probably still my favorite knife. I adore the Arius. The Oz Roosevelt, one of my favorite knives. And they absolutely spark joy as well. But I didn't want this to just be like my favorite knives list. So this one happens to be one of my favorite knife models. It won 2020 Knife of the Year for me, but it is an ultimate version of it. This is the Protech Malibu. And I have an all-black aluminum framed Protech Malibu. But on the day of the Left Concepts Avant pre-order, I went to a knife show, just a local little one here in Southern California, and I bought this as one of their show pieces. And I believe they made less than 10 in this configuration. It has, I don't know if it's bocote or bocote, I don't know how you say that, wood inlays on titanium frames that are orange peeled and anodized. And then it's got a mosaic pin. I mean, this thing is bananas. The clip is their 3D milled titanium clip. They were telling me it takes 40 minutes of machine time just to make the clip. And that's before finishing and anodizing. It's freaking crazy. And not only is this like kind of a grail in a way, even though I only knew it existed for like 24 hours before I bought it, I knew I just had to have one. It's so fun to get an ultimate version of a knife that I already love and have so much experience with. But beyond that, it was also like a reward to myself for selling out a pre-order. I guess when I bought it, it hadn't quite sold out yet. It sold out later that day, but the pre-order had already gone way above expectations on my first ever production knife project. And so it was like a reward to myself for that, which was really cool. So yeah, this is my ultimate Protech Malibu. And it absolutely brings me a lot of joy because it's kind of like a trophy at the same time as being an ultimate knife. And a button lock from Protech, just endlessly fun. It's got some added kind of weight to it being titanium instead of aluminum, and it feels classy and dressed up. And I carry this knife and I've cut with it already. This is a knife that's for me, and it brings me joy. So I guess that'll be my list. We had the Danger Pickle, the AD20, the Avocado PM2, the DLC Shadow 2, or Scarab 2 Shadow, and then this Ultimate Malibu. So hopefully that list is, I don't know, entertaining at least. Again, it would have been really easy for me to just like basically pick a top 5 of my current collection favorite knives that I have, but there are a lot of ways that a knife can bring joy, and it's not just by being the nicest or newest one in a collection. And I think at the end of the day, this is kind of a good way to look at a collection and determine whether there's some things that I'm maybe willing to let go of to start chasing new stuff. Because if I can identify there's a knife in my collection that doesn't bring me joy, which there's a couple, then they're on the chopping block. They're going to go. One or two of them I need to still finish full reviews on, so that's the only reason they're not listed yet. But this was fun. So thank you to Metal Complex and to Lindy over at Knife Modders for shouting me out and tagging me in this way. I don't know if there's anybody left that I'm friends with who hasn't done this. I think I'm one of the last couple to do it. But if you haven't, and you also have a channel and you're watching this, please, by all means, make one. I don't think I've seen one from Knife Nerdery. I've been getting to know him a little bit. We haven't actually had much one-on-one conversation yet, but I keep meaning to. Really cool, newer channel. I'd love to see his take on this. Hero Sticks, I don't know if he's done it. That would be awesome. He's a smaller channel. He's loaned me stuff before. Yeah, I don't know who else I haven't seen do one that I can think of off the top of my head, but please, open invitation. I believe it started as an open tag from Pete from Cedric and Ada, so by all means participate. Or if you don't have a channel, let me know in the comments down below what's your top 5 list. That would be fun as well to see what other people's top 5 knives that bring them the most joy are, because it's a different thing than your favorite 5. Your fave 5. Was that T-Mobile that did that? I don't know. Anyway, maybe one of these days we'll do like a MySpace top 8 style. That would be redundant. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. We've gotten away from ourselves here, haven't we? Hope you have a good one, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.